Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over my 23andMe DNA results. For a while, I've really been wanting to do this. A lot of my life I've struggled with not knowing really who I was, and being biracial. I think a lot of people go through this of having, I guess, a duality between one race or another, or not feeling like they really particularly fit in a specific category. I know this isn't going to necessarily solve like any issue of, I guess, an identity crisis, but it is cool to know who you are and where you come from and just things that make you you. So, backstory on sending in this kit. I sent this in about, I want to say maybe like 5 weeks ago. They do say that it takes 4 to 6 weeks, but I was really lazy. I got mine during Christmas and I didn't send it in probably until maybe like, I think February 3rd is when it said, but that's because it was really cold, so I was afraid that my saliva would like freeze in the mail, and I didn't want that to happen. So, just paranoid thoughts, but I sent that in a little late, so it's gonna probably take, like it says, 4 to 6 weeks, but mine came in about 5, so that's it. So next topic, my family history. So before I open this, I really wanted to discuss what I think I am, just so I think like it'll add a bit of a shock factor, and so we can see if what I really think is right. So what I know for sure about myself is that my mom is Mexican and my dad is Black, and that's pretty basis it. There's been rumors in my family that like my great-great-great-grandpa was Japanese or Vietnamese because he like slipped up about it once, but he was Mexican, and it's very big in the Mexican or like Latin community, I guess you could say, to be full-blooded anything. Like a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm full-blooded Mexican, or I'm full-blooded Cuban. It's just a very taboo thing. So what I know, it's like a brief rundown of my family history, is that my great-great-great-grandma was Spanish, and whether they mean like Spanish from Spain or just Spanish as a Mexican, never know. So Spanish, and her husband was Japanese, I want to say, but Japanese, Mexican, Japanese, and Spanish. If there is any Asian, it'll be really, really tiny. After that, and this is on my grandpa's side, or my mom's side, next grandparent came from Mexico, and everyone other than that came from Mexico. And then on my dad's side, I just know because my parents are divorced and I don't talk to my dad very often, is that everyone is Black. So I'm assuming what my prediction is that it will be Japanese or some Asian Orient, Spanish as in Spain, Iberian Peninsula, Mexican as in Mexico or Central America, and then Black, so somewhere from West Africa. All right, so let's get into it. I am opening the email that's saying I'm going to view my results. I think I have to log in. Hope I remember my password. So I'm signing in now. I'm so anxious. Okay, so I saw one thing and I'm already like, what? Okay. So, your DNA represents a legacy of many people. Blah, 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 blah. We interpret your DNA to uncover information about your ancestral origins, both recent and ancient. And now here's my DNA. Wow! Okay. This is a lot more. Wait. Okay. Sorry, I'm like really old. Okay, so I'm gonna try and insert like a screenshot here so you can see it, but just about all of the entire world is lit up except for like, I think that's Iceland, and then like Russia and, no, maybe that is Russia. No. Yeah, everything's lit up except for like Russia, India, and like a section of the Middle East, but like, wow, okay, that is, okay. So, let me go over this like now before I get any more sidetracked. So the first thing I have on here is Sub-Saharan African, which is really shocking because I would have thought that it would have been West Africa just because like obviously slave trade and whatever else, but I got Sub-Saharan African. So I got 43.9% West African. Okay, there it is. I just can't read. 2% East, 0.2 East African, and 2.1% broadly Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, so that's my biggest group, is Sub-Saharan Africa with 46.3%. Right after that is East Asian and Native American, which is really shocking. I'm 26% Native American. Okay, wow. This is, okay, so I'm 26% Native American, I'm 0.1% East Asian, and then 0.1% broadly East Asian, and then 2.1% broadly East Asian and Native American. So I guess Native American and East Asian are like one kind of clumped together. So that makes a lot of sense, but that's a lot of Native American. Like, I don't think I've ever met anybody or like watched any video of these where people have that much Native American. That is so cool. Okay, so my next biggest group after that, holy moly, is European. And this is so shocking because like, if I got the screen grab in there, there's nothing that says like Central America or like necessarily like Mexican or like any indigenous group, which is besides Native American, which is really weird because I guess it makes sense because no one, like a lot of the Spanish people came from Spain, and I said that my predictions were Spanish, which is like Europe, Spain. I don't know. I still say Spanish people are white because I'm like, listen, I've been to Europe, okay? If you're attached to Europe, if your continent or your, not your continent, but if your country is on Europe, you're white. And that's my policy, okay? So I'm like, listen, it'd be what it be. But after that, okay, so I'm 21.2% European. So I'm 17.2% Southern European, Iberian, broadly Southern European. So broadly Southern European is like Italy, Greece, and Spain. So that's a big portion of it. So I'm assuming it comes from Spain because my whole thing was that my great grandma, she's still alive. She's Japanese and Spanish. So her mother, the one I was talking about earlier, is the one that I said I thought was Spanish. So this makes a lot of sense. After that, okay, I am 1.5% Northwest European. So that's British and Irish, Scandinavian, and broadly Northwest European. So those are really, really small percents. They're like 0.8 and 0.3, which make 1.5. Which makes a lot of sense because my, last name is Walls. So Walls, English, Scottish, yeah. Next thing, okay, I was so excited because I never thought I was Jewish, but I see people get them and I'm like, I wonder if I'm Jewish. So yeah, all right, 0.3% Jewish. Wow, all right, okay. And then just the last part is 2.2% broadly European. So a lot of European, which is really weird. Okay. So the next portion, which is a really tiny percent, is 0.2% broadly Middle Eastern and North African, which I've always wondered about that too, but that's really, really tiny. It's basically nothing, but still makes you up, so that's pretty cool. And then the last percent is broadly Oceanian, yeah. So including the indigenous people of Papua New Guinea and I can't pronounce that word, was inhabited tens of thousands of years ago by early seafaring people. Okay, and then the last percent of me is 4.1% unassigned. So, wow, that was really shocking, but in a good way. All right, so about 1940 to 1940 to 1880 is when West African came over, which is interesting. Native American dated back about 1850 to 1910, British and Irish, 1760 to 1850, Iberian, which is Spanish, 1730 to 1850, and then Scandinavian, Oceanian, East African, and Jewish were about 1730 to 1820. Okay, so looking through this, I found my Neanderthal ancestry now. And it says that I have 158 Neanderthal variants. So you have fewer Neanderthal variants than 97% of 23andMe customers. However, your Neanderthal ancestry accounts for less than 4% of your overall DNA. So I think that's about it. That was really cool and a lot better than I thought. So going over what I previously talked about in the beginning, I think I was pretty spot on, obviously, because it covered about all the map. But I was indeed Asian oriented, or I don't know whether it was Japanese specifically or Vietnamese. I didn't really answer that, but I do have Asian. I am Spanish, white, Iberian Peninsula. It didn't really say Mexican, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint unless you are part of the indigenous population. So it covered the region of North America and like Central America, which I guess is Native American, so that covers it. So I guess I was right about that. And the last thing, I was obviously Black. So that's really it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think it's always so cool, whether it's in regards to you or anyone else, just to find out who people are, what makes people people. Doesn't matter, we're all the same. But it's just cool to know what brings our individuality out and makes us special from one another. So thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in next time. Bye.